The screen fades in with soft, emotional music. A candle flickers, a desert wind blows. A shadowed figure walks across the sand. Then, the voiceover begins. It all started with a small, crowd-funded project that no one believed could succeed. And now, it's one of the most talked-about shows in the world. The Chosen has changed how millions experience the story of Jesus. And Season 6 is about to take that journey to its most powerful chapter yet. Quick cuts of Season 5 scenes flash Jesus raising his hands, the disciples running through the crowd, and a faint echo of Jonathan Roumie's voice as Jesus saying, "Do not be afraid." But what's coming next? When will we finally see the next season? And what hidden details has the creator revealed about The Chosen Season 6? Let's uncover everything we know so far. The Chosen isn't just another show, it's a movement. Over the past few years, it has brought the life of Jesus and his followers to screens around the world in a way no one expected. The emotional storytelling, grounded characters, and stunning performances have made it one of the most successful faith-based dramas ever made. But as Season 5 left fans on the edge of their seats, one question keeps echoing through social media. When is Season 6 coming, and what will it bring? Before we dive into the details, let's take a quick step back. Season 5 of The Chosen delivered some of the most emotional and challenging moments in the series. We saw the disciples struggle with faith and fear as the ministry of Jesus spread further and the opposition grew stronger. The tension was building, the miracles were becoming greater, but so was the danger surrounding him. The ending left fans both inspired and anxious, knowing that the story was approaching the most critical events in history. The excitement for Season 6 isn't just about seeing what happens next, it's about witnessing the moments that have shaped faith for centuries. The creators have been teasing that this new season will explore some of the most emotional chapters of the Gospels, where every scene will carry both beauty and heartbreak. Fans are already calling it the season that will change everything. Now, from teaser posts by Dallas Jenkins, the show's creator, to behind-the-scenes glimpses shared by the cast. Every update feels like a small piece of a larger mystery. The production has grown in scale and ambition, yet it continues to hold on to what makes The Chosen special: authenticity, emotion, and a deep connection to its viewers. In this video, we'll break down everything that's been revealed so far, the release date predictions, trailer analysis, cast news, and what fans can expect from this next chapter of The Chosen. Get ready, because if Season 5 made you cry, Season 6 might just leave you speechless. The screen fades from black to a quiet shoreline, the sound of waves brushing against the sand. Then, the voice cuts through softly. Before we talk about what's coming, let's remember where we left off. Season 5 wasn't just another chapter. It was the calm before the storm. The story picked up momentum as Jesus' message began to spread across the land, stirring hope in the hearts of many and fear in the halls of power. We watched the disciples transform from ordinary men into witnesses of something far greater than themselves. Each episode carried the weight of change in faith, friendship, destiny. There were moments that made us smile, like the joy of miracles that felt almost too human to be divine. And then there were moments that broke our hearts. Moments when we saw confusion, doubt, and fear settle in the eyes of those closest to him. The bond between Jesus and his disciples grew stronger, but so did the tension that surrounded them. The authorities were growing restless. The whispers of betrayal began to stir in the background. One of the season's most powerful moments was watching how Jesus balanced his compassion with the growing shadow of what's to come. He healed, he taught, and he loved, even as the path ahead became darker. The miracles were not just about power. They were about purpose. Every word he spoke, every person he touched, carried a sense of urgency, as if time itself was counting down. And for the disciples, that countdown was something they could feel, even if they couldn't name it. Peter's faith was tested like never before. Matthew continued his journey of redemption, trying to understand grace in a world that had once rejected him. Mary Magdalene showed strength through vulnerability, a quiet reminder that faith often lives in the moments we feel the weakest. By the end of Season 5, audiences knew the story was on the edge of something monumental. The look in Jesus' eyes told us everything. He knew what was coming. The tension in the air wasn't just dramatic. It was sacred. Then, the season closed in a way that left fans breathless. No grand ending, no explosive twist, just the stillness before history would change forever. That's what made The Chosen different from every other show. It didn't rely on spectacle. It relied on truth, emotion, and humanity. Now, with Season 6 approaching, that stillness is about to be shattered. The story is entering its most emotional territory, the final teachings, the betrayal, the sacrifice. Every episode will carry the weight of destiny, and fans can already feel it. We've walked with him through miracles and moments of doubt, the voiceover says softly, as old clips flash on screen. But in Season 6, we walk with him through history's most defining hours. As the screen fades out with a quiet echo of a heartbeat, one question lingers: are we ready for what comes next? A single voice echoes in the distance, not from an actor, but from the man behind the camera. We're not done yet. The story still has to be told. Those were the words of Dallas Jenkins, the creator and director of The Chosen. Simple, but filled with meaning. As production for Season 6 began to take shape, Jenkins made it clear this chapter will be unlike anything fans have seen before. Filming updates have been coming slowly, but every new image and behind-the-scenes clip feels like a message. The production team has been spotted building larger, more intricate sets, including what fans believe to be Jerusalem itself. The atmosphere is different now. The joy of the early ministry has faded into something more solemn or urgent. In several interviews and live streams, Dallas Jenkins has spoken about the emotional toll of creating these upcoming episodes. He called Season 6 the most difficult one to film so far, not because of logistics, but because of what it represents, the nearing end of Jesus' earthly journey. He said, "Every scene feels heavier now. Every line carries the weight of what's coming." From the outside, everything looks calm, a film crew working, actors rehearsing. But fans who've followed The Chosen for years know that stillness is never empty. It's filled with intention. The director himself has mentioned that this season will take audiences to the heart of heartbreak and hope. That balance between sorrow and faith is what defines The Chosen, and Season 6 seems ready to push that even further. Social media has been buzzing with glimpses from the set, photos of Jonathan Roumie Jesus standing quietly between takes, eyes closed, lost in thought. Cast members have shared emotional reflections, hinting that filming certain scenes left them speechless or even in tears. You can feel the energy through their posts. Something historic is being created. Behind the cameras, production has expanded to accommodate the growing fan base. With millions of viewers from more than 150 countries, The Chosen is no longer a small, crowd-funded project. It's a worldwide movement. Jenkins often reminds fans that each season is made possible by the community itself, by people who believe in the message and the mission. That's why every update feels personal. There's also a quiet confidence in the air. The cast and crew know that Season 6 will prepare the ground for Season 7, which Jenkins has hinted will be the final one. This makes the upcoming season not just a continuation, but a bridge between ministry and sacrifice, between teaching and destiny. We're getting closer to the most sacred moments ever told, Jenkins said recently, and we have to do it right. Those words alone have been enough to stir the fan base. Everyone knows The Chosen doesn't rush. It takes its time, letting emotions unfold naturally. And now, with the creators confirming that filming is underway and post-production already being prepared, the excitement has never been higher. Every image shared, every interview snippet, every whisper from the set builds one simple truth. The Chosen Season 6 isn't just being made. It's being crafted with reverence. And if you listen closely between the silence of those updates, you can almost hear the sound of history being rewritten for the screen once more. The screen fades in with the sound of ticking slow, rhythmic echoing through darkness. A voice speaks softly, time. It's the one thing fans of The Chosen have been counting and waiting on. Every second feels longer when millions are waiting for one answer. When will Season 6 finally arrive? The creators haven't officially stamped a date on the calendar yet. But if history tells us anything, The Chosen never arrives without purpose. Each season has followed its own rhythm, filmed with patience, released with care. Dallas Jenkins has said it many times, "We don't rush sacred moments." That sentence alone explains why the release of Season 6 has been a slow and deliberate process. So what do we know? Filming for Season 6 began earlier this year. Production updates confirming that key scenes were being shot throughout the summer months. Based on the usual pattern, filming, editing, and final post-production, fans can expect the season to arrive sometime in mid to late 2025, depending on the post-production timeline and distribution strategy. But here's the thing about The Chosen. It doesn't follow traditional Hollywood schedules. The release is often guided by the story, not the calendar. Jenkins and his team focus on impact over timing. That's why fans may see episodes released gradually, first through special screenings or limited theater runs, followed by digital releases on the Angel Studios app and YouTube, and that, in itself, has become part of the Chosen experience, waiting together. Fans from all over the world tune into live streams, react to sneak peeks, and share their excitement like one global family. It's not just about watching a show, it's about being part of something bigger. In one recent live stream, Dallas hinted that the editing team is already deep into post-production for the early episodes. He mentioned how intense these scenes have been, both technically and emotionally, and promised that the release will be worth every moment of waiting. Those words sent waves through the fan base, lighting up forums and comment sections with speculation. Some fans believe the first 2 episodes might even premiere in theaters, much like The Chosen did with earlier seasons, giving audiences a chance to experience those sacred moments on the big screen before the rest release online. And knowing the show's history, that possibility feels very real. The wait might be long, but anticipation has its own kind of magic. Every update, every teaser, and every behind-the-scenes image reminds viewers that something extraordinary is being prepared. The creators aren't just making a show, they're crafting a story meant to last. "We're closer than you think," Dallas said in a quiet moment during a live Q&A. "But trust me, when it's ready, you'll feel it." Those few words might not give a date, but they give something stronger assurance. So, while there may not be an official release date yet, all signs point toward the biggest and most emotional season launch yet. And when the screen finally lights up again with those familiar faces, that opening line, "He chose us," will remind fans exactly why the wait was worth it. The camera pans out to a glowing horizon, the sound of footsteps echoing in the distance. The voiceover fades with a soft promise. The wait isn't forever. It's just preparation for something sacred. A dim light flickers on the screen, footsteps echo across stone floors. The voiceover begins softly, almost like a whisper. The light of the world is about to walk into the darkest hour of his life. That's where The Chosen Season 6 is heading. The story has been building toward this moment since the very first episode. Every miracle, every conversation, every tear leading to one path: Jerusalem. If you've followed the show closely, you can feel the shift. The warmth and wonder of early ministry are fading into tension and quiet sorrow. The disciples are beginning to sense it too. Something heavy in the air, something they can't yet understand. Season 6 is expected to explore these moments, the days leading to the Passion. When faith and fear collide, the storyline will likely focus on the final teachings of Jesus, his growing conflict with the religious leaders, and the fragile unity among his followers. The closer they move toward Jerusalem, the more their hearts are tested. The miracles will continue, but their meaning will deepen, no longer just signs of power, but messages of sacrifice and love. Many fans believe that Season 6 will bring us to some of the most emotional events of the Gospels: the Last Supper, the betrayal of Judas, and the beginning of the trial. The tone will likely turn darker, more reflective. But The Chosen has never been about tragedy alone. It's about the light that never goes out, even when the world turns against it. Dallas Jenkins has often said that his goal isn't to retell what everyone already knows, it's to help viewers feel it. That means we can expect powerful human moments behind every familiar story. Judas's inner struggle, Peter's guilt and confusion, Mary's quiet heartbreak. These aren't just biblical events, they're emotional journeys that will make every viewer see them with new eyes. And through it all, Jonathan Roumie's portrayal of Jesus will likely reach its most haunting and beautiful form yet. He's already said in interviews that Season 6 pushed him deeper into the character than ever before. You can imagine those scenes, Jesus looking into the eyes of his friends, knowing what's coming, yet still loving them without hesitation. There's also a quiet expectation that this season will leave us at the very doorstep of the crucifixion, ending not in despair, but in silence. That's the kind of storytelling The Chosen does best, letting stillness speak louder than any words. Fans have been piecing together clues from behind-the-scenes photos and interviews, noticing subtle hints, costumes changing, the tone of lighting getting darker, and the emotional weight visible on the actors' faces. All of it points to a story that's no longer just about belief, but about endurance. We know what's coming, the voice says. Quietly, as soft music fades in, but knowing doesn't make it easier to watch. That's what will make Season 6 unforgettable. It won't just tell the story of Jesus, it will make you feel the cost of love, the pain of loyalty, and the beauty of forgiveness. As the camera pans over a dimly lit table, 12 empty seats waiting in silence, the voice closes. Every story has a turning point. For The Chosen, that moment has finally come. The screen opens to silence. Slow, black and white clips of the cast fade in. Faces we've come to know: Peter's fierce loyalty, Mary's soft strength, Matthew's quiet courage. Then, the voice breaks the silence. They're not just actors anymore. They're the faces of stories we've carried in our hearts all our lives. Season 6 of The Chosen brings back the cast that has become family to millions. Jonathan Roumie, as Jesus, continues to carry the heart of the show, not with grand gestures, but with stillness. His calm presence, his gentle eyes, and the pain behind every smile have made his performance unforgettable. And in this new season, that depth only grows. Fans can expect to see a more vulnerable human side of Jesus, one that faces love, betrayal, and sacrifice all at once. Shahar Isaac, who plays Simon Peter, stands at a turning point. From the fisherman who once doubted to the rock who leads others, Peter's journey has been one of fire and faith. In Season 6, he'll face the hardest test yet, standing beside his teacher when fear is strongest. Shahar's raw intensity and emotion will once again make Peter one of the most relatable figures in the story. Then there's Paris Patel as Matthew A., character who began as an outcast and became one of the most beloved disciples. His quiet growth, his gentle spirit, and his constant search for meaning make him a mirror for so many viewers. In Season 6, expect Matthew's compassion and logic to collide, as he watches the events he once only wrote about come alive before his eyes. Elizabeth Tabish, as Mary Magdalene, continues to shine with depth and emotion. Her performance in previous seasons captured the struggle between faith and pain beautifully. And now, as the story moves toward its darkest moments, Mary's unwavering presence will become a symbol of strength. Her silence will speak louder than words. Other familiar faces: Lara Silva as Eden, Abe Wenojalet as Big James, and Noah James as Andrew, all return to continue their arcs, each carrying their own piece of the story's emotional puzzle. Every disciple now has a weight to bear, a choice to make, and a memory that will shape their faith forever. And then, it's the most mysterious of them all, Luke Dimion as Judas Iscariot. His character, more than any other, walks the thinnest line between devotion and destruction. Jenkins has hinted that Season 6 will explore Judas not as a villain, but as a man torn apart by conflicting beliefs. His performance will be critical, the one that defines the emotional balance of the season. What makes The Chosen cast so powerful isn't just their acting, it's their authenticity. Many have said that filming certain scenes changed them personally, deepening their own sense of faith and purpose. Behind the camera, they laugh, they pray, and sometimes they cry together because this story isn't just a script. It's something they feel as the show edges closer to the most sacred part of the gospel story. The weight on each actor's shoulders grows heavier. Every word they speak, Every glance they share carries history. These aren't just characters, the voice says softly, over a montage of faces fading into candlelight. They're reflections of us, our doubts, our hope, and our faith. Season 6 will be the test of everything they've built so far, their chemistry, their conviction, and their courage. And if the passion behind the scenes is any clue, this cast is ready to give the world something unforgettable. The screen fades out on a close-up of Jesus, face weary but peaceful. The music fades into silence. They were chosen once, but now they choose to walk with him until the end. The trailer doesn't open with thunder or explosions, it opens with silence. A soft breeze, the distant sound of sandals on sand, and a single line from Jesus, "The time has come." Those 3 words, calm, steady, and final, echo across the screen. The music begins to rise, slow and haunting. We see quick flashes, the disciples walking through crowded streets, Roman guards tightening their grip, and a faint glow of lamplight flickering in the dark. The trailer for The Chosen Season 6 doesn't try to impress. It tries to move you. Every frame carries weight. Every shadow hides meaning. There's a shot of Peter standing alone, eyes filled with fear and confusion. A glimpse of Mary clutching her hands in prayer. A faint, painful smile from Judas before he disappears into darkness. Then comes the voice of Jesus again. Soft but strong, "Do not let your hearts be troubled." The trailer fades into a sequence of chaos, crowds shouting, disciples running, soldiers marching. Yet amid the noise, there's stillness in his eyes. That's the power of The Chosen, even in moments of despair. Peace lingers. Fans have already begun breaking down each frame online. The colors, the expressions, the hidden messages. The tone of the trailer tells us everything. This season will not just be a story of loss, but of love that refuses to die. The lighting grows darker, the music heavier, and the emotions roar. You can feel it. We are entering the final chapters. There's a moment where Jesus looks up to the sky, no words, just silence. And in that one look, every viewer knows what's coming. It's heartbreak and hope wrapped into one frame. And then, as the trailer ends, the screen fades to black. The sound of a heartbeat echoes once, twice, then stops. A single line appears, The Chosen. Season 6. Coming soon. The screen stays black for a few seconds longer, long enough for the audience to feel that mix of awe, sadness, and anticipation. Conclusion: The Chosen has always been more than a show. It's an experience. A reminder of light in the middle of darkness. Season 6 promises to be the most emotional, intense, and spiritually powerful chapter yet. Every detail from the cast's performances to the trailer's tone tells us this will be the season that breaks our hearts and then heals them. The creators aren't just making television. They're shaping a legacy. Each episode feels like a conversation between the past and the present. A story we've all heard, but never felt like this before. As the music swells softly, the voiceover fades in one last time. It's not just another season. It's the moment everything changes. A quiet pause follows, then the screen glows faintly with the final message. What are you most excited to see in The Chosen Season 6? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, the story isn't over yet. Soft music plays out, the logo appears, and the video fades into silence.